tell you a story about what happened to my brother.
Yeah,
My
absolutely. That's
brother,
fascinating.
my brother threw a rock in an abandoned house. An abandoned house in my grandparents, where my grandparents lived. And then when my brother threw a rock, nothing happened at first. So we were playing. It was 5 in the afternoon. By 6 a.m. we had to go. By 6 p.m. we had to go back to the house because we're gonna eat and stuff like that. When dinner time, my brother's been feeling really bad. He started vomiting, some scratching in the body. Something happened.
Oh my
Of
gosh.
course, we were like, "Oh my God, what happened to him? Why are you not eating this food? This is your favorite." Then my grandfather, called an albulario, and then when the albulario came, he had a plate. He had a specific oil, and then he
Wait,
put
sorry.
three crosses.
He called a what again?
Albulario.
Albulario,
What
kind of
is
like a
that?
faith healer, kind of like a
Oh,
healer.
oh wow. Okay, cool.
The person
Yeah.
who talks to specifically like helps you undo a witch's curse,
And
something
did
like that.
and did your grandfather kind of sense something was off? Like how did he come to the decision?
Yeah,
Wow.
because there's some kind of like boiling. It's different from your usual, like, of course now when we think about people vomiting or like having a high fever, we're gonna, okay, doctor, immediately. But then I don't know, maybe back then, because it's very unusual, really unusual. I was right there. I was just looking at him, was like, what's happening right now? And so when we were seeing that he's just, wow, so many boils and then vomiting and then high fever. He's delirious. So my grandfather called an albulario. He took this specific albulario, took a plate. This is what I remember. Then with the use of a oil, he put 3 crosses on the plate, a white plate, and then he put this in, kind of like placed it. I'm gonna do an example. So this is like a candle. So he did like place it like that. So it showed us that there is some kind of like a creature or someone that he hit when he threw the rock in the abandoned house.
Oh wow.
So he was offended. He doesn't like it. So what he did, what Albalario did, was sort of like talk to these spirits or whatever it is that my brother hit, then offered. I don't know what they offered, but offered something, and then he became well after that. That's why I'm scared.
Understandable.
I would be too.
That's why I'm scared. That's why I'm scared. So yeah, it depends. It depends. For example, I'm talking too much, but for
No,
another
it's fine.
example is
You're our guest.
another example is thank you. Another example is the karangit. The karangit is known, and this is by far my most favorite creatures in the Philippine
I was about
mythology,
to ask you
because
what's your favorite.
this one hits close to home for me because of how I grew up. But the karangit is basically a sort of like a duende or a nuno. They look like that, but they are described to be the owner of the land. So what I believe is they don't have a specific place where they live in the Philippines. They own the entire land. So meaning, since you are a human and if you want to like build a house, that means you have to ask permission before you build a house, or else during the construction something bad is gonna happen. And how we do this in the Philippines is we either kill a goat or a chicken, and then we spread the blood. We call that padugo, or bloodletting. And so we do that. And if you don't, that is sort of like a payment, or your rental payment. And if they agreed, and if you paid the rental fee, then you are free to construct your house. And that's my favorite, because that's what my parents did to our house, and then my grandparents' house. So that's been. And then I love that creature because my parents don't want me to whistle at night. And then when I learned about that creature, it says that the reason, I think, and I just connected the dots, because my parents told me not to whistle, because the karangit actually answers to the whistle. So now when I think about when I whistle at night, I was like, oh, I'm gonna whistle. The karangit will hear me. He might think I'm calling for him. That's gonna be bad for me.
Right.
So yeah.
I heard that about my mom used to tell me that about the capre growing up. Like you shouldn't whistle if there's like a balete around because the capre will hear it and be attracted by it. So
Oh yeah.